to This Week in East Brunswick. This year, the East Brunswick Women's Club celebrates its 50th anniversary. Judith Leblein brings us that story this week. Diane de Oliveira focuses on preventing cigarette smoking on her series, Making a Difference. And Amy Fisher brings word of a season of jazz within easy traveling distance. Stay with us.
The 20th Annual Daisy Breakfast will be held on Sunday, March 23rd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Brunswick Hilton Hotel on Route 18 in East Brunswick. Meet your neighbors, make new friends, and enjoy the best breakfast buffet in town, featuring eggs, bacon, ham, home fries, pancakes, donuts, rolls, juice, coffee, tea, and milk. Tickets are $10 for adults and $2 for kids under 10, and parking is free at the Hilton.
Sponsored by the East Brunswick Local 9 of the New Jersey Law Enforcement Officers Association, proceeds from the breakfast directly benefits persons with disabilities who participate in the Daisy Recreation Program. Designed to promote the concept of education through recreation for the challenged population, the Daisy Recreation Program is sponsored by the East Brunswick Division of Recreation and the Daisy Association.
This popular community event is run by volunteers who work tirelessly throughout the year, planning the breakfast, and then all coming together the day of the event, preparing, serving, and cleaning up. The success of the event would not be possible without the generosity of the many donations received from the following donors: the East Brunswick Hilton Hotel, Plum Rose USA, LaFair 2 Bake Shop, Lamo Builders Incorporated, Austin Cossack Jr. Associates, and the New York and New Jersey Port Authority PBA.
Breakfast tickets are available at the East Brunswick Recreation Office, the Municipal Clerk's Office, and at the door. Please call 732-390-6797 or 732-390-6850 for more information.
Hi, I'm Judith Leblein. There's a 50th anniversary coming up for a very important community organization. Some of you may be very familiar with them, and others may want to find out more once you find out how much they've been involved right here in our community. It's the East Brunswick Women's Club. Joining me are two very long-time members, Mary Tenor, who is 30 years with the Women's Club of East Brunswick, and Joe Nelson, 40 years. Hello, ladies.
Hi. Hello,
Thank you for joining me. Now, for people who are new to East Brunswick, perhaps, they may not know this legacy that we know of the East Brunswick Women's Club. Mary, tell me a little bit about what the Women's Club does.
Well, the Women's Club is basically a service organization. We have served the community now for 50 years. We've been involved in many, many aspects of the community. We are involved with scholarships. We are involved in service organizations. Any organization or anyone in need contacts us, and we make sure that we can help them. We're a very giving organization, and we have done so much for the community. In fact, we're the Betsy Rosses of East Brunswick in that we sewed and established the first flag, which still is in the township offices.
There are so many historical contributions from the East Brunswick Women's Club. Tell me, Joe, about just a few of them. You talked to me about the library. Many people that live in East Brunswick know we have this fabulous library, but they don't know how it got here.
Well, the township wasn't as large as it is now, and so we were also trying to build up the schools, and they decided that they really felt we needed a library in the community. And so it went to a vote to the public, and it was voted down twice, not with high numbers, but it was voted down. So the Women's Club made a tape of for the library and sent it out to any organizations in the community so they would know about it. And the library passed by 7 votes in order to have this building.
So this organization gets involved in the grassroots movement of community projects, as well as helps to support programs and helps people in need, as you said, Mary. Now, 30 years in an organization, this is amazing. 40 years for you, Joe, in an organization. What keeps you coming back, Mary?
Well, it's an exceptional group. People who are willing to serve their community and serve people are nice people. And I have formed wonderful friendships. We continue to get pleasure out of working together, and it's fun too. We have a lot of fun things that we do. We go to the theater, we have craft groups, and we're wonderful cooks. We've had a couple of
Good reason to go to a meeting.
Absolutely. We have 2 great cookbooks that we've made up, and we do have a covered dish every year where the best food in town is there.
So although this is a somewhat traditional organization, it has lasted a long time, it has thrived for a long time, and you have a membership that spans a lot of generation, don't you?
Yes, we
Joe?
do. We do. And in a point of doing, we do the Veterans Home, and we make up about 40 tins of cookies, 400 tins of cookies, and they're delivered to them at Christmas time. And we also do the county fair. We took care of the flower show at the county fair. And
So
that's been interesting.
It's also recreation and
Oh, yeah.
socialization.
The camaraderie is great.
Now, you know, I'm sure over the years you've probably heard this, and you know, I mean no insult. They'll say, oh, it's just the Women's Club. But when I see the list of accomplishment, this has been an organization of some very powerful women through your own ways and your own means have created some very lasting, important projects. Tell us about, for example, Douglas College.
Yes, well, we're part of the state federation, and as being a part of that federation in 1913 helped establish Douglas College. And since then, we as a part of that group have contributed to many of the buildings, and we still make large contributions every year to Douglas College, because at that time it was a college for women only. And the job was to support women. But now we've gone on, and we are still very, very supportive, and we do many things. We've passed many important laws in the state and throughout the country.
Yes, this is not about tea and cookies. This is a formidable group. But it's not a political group, right, Joe?
No. And the other thing is, we started the autistic children in the Douglas group and in Douglas College. And
So there's always been a nurturing side of the organization, which is only natural, only natural. So how have you seen the membership, the members change and evolve? Because, you know, in all due respect, 30 years, 40 years, you've been there you've come a long way, baby. And so how has it changed?
Well, we had one of them become mayor of East Brunswick.
Well, there you go. And you're referring to Mayor Jean Wally.
Yes, we did. Jean was very good, and she wanted to join our club, and we enjoyed her. I think we got to know each other in other things we did for charity and so forth, and helping. And that made us all get together to bring in more, and that's how really the club evolved, you know.
You know, there's a new buzzword in the business world, and it's networking. And it seems to me that the East Brunswick Women's Club has been networking among East Brunswick's women for a long time before there was a label. And when you look at the list of credits that you've been involved with, the East Brunswick Public Library, the Rescue Squad, the Brain Injured Children's Association, Camp Daisy, and helping them, and beautifying this community, making sure that those most in need get the help that they need, and at the same time make friends. I mean, what a win-win situation that is for any member.
That's the whole point.
Now, how can people get involved, Mary?
Well, I have a contact name that anyone interested could contact Pat Henkler, and you can reach her at 732-238-9080. She is our new incoming president, and she would be happy to pass information on to anyone. But we welcome anyone in the community who is of the same mind. I know young people today have many balls in the air and find it difficult to do this, but it is so rewarding that I'm sure that if you could spare a few hours of your time, it's a wonderful organization.
So the commitment does not have to be huge. It could
No,
be
you
bits
can
and
start off
pieces. You can
small.
select where you want to work and how you want to help. Now, in the few moments we have left, Joe, the celebration, you're going to have something very special for the 50th anniversary.
We're going to have an English tea. And we're hoping it's sort of a remember when. if women want to come with the clothes of the 50s and the 60s, we're letting them do that. We told them we'd like to see some of them do it just for fun. You know, the furs that we used to have and things like, and the hats and gloves. And they're getting a big kick out of it. They want to just see what's coming up. But that's it. We want to make fun of it, but also congratulate everyone for having the club.
Behind that guise of tea and cookies is a very powerful organization with an awful lot to say. And I think besides the service to the community, working with other women, meeting other women, sharing both the good and the bad, and helping each other has to be very, very rewarding. Well, I wish you all the best of luck, and enjoy the tea, and keep up the great work, ladies.
And thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you,
For this week
Judith.
in East Brunswick, I'm Judith Leblein.
Hi, I'm Elaine Risley with a Cultural Minute for the Human Relations Council on life's priorities. This message was sent by email by Conchetta Mary Diana. The author is unknown. A philosophy professor stood before his class and had some items in front of him. When class began, wordlessly he picked up a large empty mayonnaise jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks right to the top, rocks about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly. The pebbles, of course, rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The students laughed. He asked the students again if the jar was full. They agreed that yes, it was. Then the professor picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. Of course, the sand filled up everything else. Now, said the professor, I want you to recognize that this is your life. The rocks are the important things, your family, your partner, your health, your children, anything that is so important to you that if it were lost, you would be nearly destroyed. The pebbles are the other things in life that matter, but on a smaller scale. The pebbles represent things like your job, your house, and your car. The sand is everything else. This is the small stuff. If you put the sand or the pebbles into the jar first, there is no room for the rocks. The same goes for your life. If you spend all your energy and time on the small stuff, material things, you will never have room for the things that are truly most important. Pay attention to the things that are critical in your life. Play with your children, take your partner out dancing. There will always be time to go to work, clean the house, give a dinner party, and fix the disposal. Take care of the rocks first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just pebbles and sand. Take the time to understand mankind, all who play a part in your life.
Secondhand smoke causes about 3,000 deaths each year among adult non-smokers and is especially hazardous to children. But a statewide anti-tobacco movement is working to prevent and reduce exposure to environmental tobacco smoke, including right here in Middlesex County. Hi, I'm Diane DeOliveira, and with me is the coordinator of CAT, Coalition Against Tobacco, Jennifer Smith. Jennifer, thanks for being with me. Now, the Coalition's mission is to establish community norms around tobacco use and try to get restaurants to become smoke-free. How are you going about doing that?
Okay. Well, recently we had a ceremony for smoke-free restaurants to award them for becoming smoke-free. But we also, in order to try to get restaurants to become smoke-free, we work in conjunction with the Middlesex County Public Health Department, with the health inspectors disseminating brochures to restaurant owners to tell them the benefits of going smoke-free. So that way they're getting the actually the information from the health inspectors themselves to make it seem a little more credible.
And what are some of the benefits of restaurants going smoke-free? And they do this voluntarily.
Yes. Some of the benefits, one thing I wanted to point out, it's not just for the patrons of the restaurants, but it's for the employees as well. You have to consider that if you have a smoking establishment, employees have to work there and they have to inhale the secondhand smoke. And a lot of times, kids in high school are looking for extra payment will get these jobs at restaurants, so especially exposing youth to that is very dangerous. So it's a safe, not only for employees, but for patrons, but for employees as well, and that's a key point.
How long ago did CAT start its mission, and since you did start, how many restaurants have signed on?
Well, the number of restaurants, we have approximately 130 in Middlesex County that are smoke-free. The Communities Against Tobacco Coalition, they began out of the Master Settlement Agreement, which was when 46 states sued major tobacco companies for the amounts of money that it cost for people who were dying or sick from tobacco-related illnesses. And that settlement took place in 1998. And after that, New Jersey was given money to do tobacco education. And that's how we came about.
What are some of the restaurants who are involved in the program?
Some of the restaurants that are smoke-free. Ruby Tuesdays just recently went smoke-free, different ones in East Brunswick, in Plainsboro, and in Woodbridge. We also have local pizza shops such as Frank's Pizza in East Brunswick Township. We have a Penny's restaurant in Highland Park. Just to name, it runs the gamut from your local pizza parlor to fine dining.
Ruby Tuesdays, that's such a large chain. It's known basically nationally. How do you convince a chain to go smoke-free, especially when they have a bar, they serve liquor, and that's an atmosphere where people tend to smoke?
Actually, you bring up a good point. Ruby Tuesdays, not all of the chains have gone smoke-free yet, but a vast majority of them are starting to do so on their own. And you bring up an important point with bars, because it may be very difficult with bars, with the smoking and so forth. However, I think norms just over the past decades, and so the norms around tobacco use have changed drastically. And we noticed that people are aware of the health effects. People are aware that secondhand smoke is a group A carcinogen known to cause cancer in humans, and they're realizing this, and that's why the trend is starting to go more towards smoke-free policies.
Now, what about for restaurants who say, well, I'm afraid of losing business, I'm afraid my patrons will go somewhere where they're allowed to smoke? Have they noticed a drop in customers, or has it boosted their business?
Actually, primarily what has occurred is that they're getting different type of clientele. Instead of smokers, they're getting, non-smokers, people who are able to, join more families are coming to these restaurants and choosing to dine there. And also what you'll notice is that the table turnover rate is much quicker because people aren't waiting for a certain section. And there have been studies in the Journal of JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association, that restaurants in New York and Massachusetts have not shown decrease in profits. Actually, they've found that going smoke-free makes good business sense.
Another thing that CAT is doing, the Coalition Against Tobacco Coalition, you are having a Kick Butt 5K walk coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. CAT and actually Rebel, which is another anti-tobacco movement that came out of the Master Settlement Agreement. Rebel stands for Reaching Everyone by Exposing Lies. They're a youth-led anti-tobacco movement that work with the high school students in the community. We have teamed up and we're sponsoring this Middlesex County Kick Butts 5K walk, with the butts a play on words with cigarette butts. And this walk is taking place on Saturday, April 5th at Roosevelt Park in Edison. 9 o'clock registration, 10 o'clock will be the walk. It's a free walk, and the walk is in celebration of Kick Butts Day. Kick Butts Day is a national annual event brought to you by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, which is an agency which works towards empowering youth leadership against tobacco use. And so we wanted to do our own local event for that cause. And so we're doing it here in Middlesex County at Edison, Roosevelt Park. 9 o'clock registration, 10 o'clock the walk, and it's really we're trying to encourage families to join together against tobacco, against the dangers of tobacco use, and against how tobacco companies try to manipulate and target youth to become smokers. More than 2,000 youth become regular daily smokers because of manipulating advertising by tobacco companies, and we want to try to do our part against that.
Jennifer, for people who want more information about the CAT program, the Coalition Against Tobacco Coalition, what can they do? And for businesses who are thinking about becoming smoke-free?
They can simply contact us at 732-254-3344. The number is at the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence of Middlesex County. We're located in East Brunswick, but our number is 732-254-3344. You can ask to speak with me, Jennifer Smith, the Communities Against Tobacco Coordinator, or Mara Goldstein, who is the Rebel Coordinator for Youth Anti-Tobacco Movements. And please feel free to ask about our walk coming up. We want to gather as many individuals as possible. Again, it's a free walk. Free t-shirts are available, so come join us.
Jennifer, thank you for making a difference. I'm Diane de Oliveira.
At this week's Town Council meeting, the East Brunswick Education Foundation dinner, Friends of the Library, and the Daisy Breakfast were all reported on by Mayor Neary.
I also want to remind the council and the town that the Daisy Breakfast is going to be on Sunday, March 23rd from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock at the Hilton. It's a great day to get a good buffet breakfast. It's a great day to support a good cause and a good day to meet all your neighbors and friends who may be there for the breakfast. It's always a special day. And I know you guys are there making bacon before the sun comes up. So Daisy Breakfast is a good program. I want to congratulate the Friends of the Library on another successful book sale last week. It's always fun to walk through those bookshelves and to see all the different types of categories and the different types of books they're trying to sell, because that also goes for a good cause. It helps support the library in so many different programs. I want to congratulate the Friends again for having another successful year with that. And my final report tonight is another great success for the East Brunswick Education Foundation dinner, which I know I saw members of the council there. We had a great time. I want to congratulate Monty Block and Jeff Venezia for being partners in excellence this year. The Education Foundation now has, I think the number, was it $500,000? Help me out. $500,000 worth of grants and scholarships for teachers and faculty members within the East Brunswick school system to provide special unique programs and special unique additions to the curriculum. So I want to congratulate East Brunswick Education Foundation on continued success.
The next Town Council meeting will be held on Monday, March 24th in the Municipal Courtroom.
Hi, I'm Amy Fisher for This Week in East Brunswick, and today I'm in the EBTV studio with John Graff, who is the producer of the Jazz at Bridgewater series. Welcome, John.
Thanks so much.
Now, John, you are also the coordinator of the Somerset County Vocational Technical School Education Foundation, and that's where the proceeds of this jazz series goes to. Could you tell us a little bit about your foundation?
Sure. The foundation was created in 1984, and it allows the school to raise funds for things that go beyond the classroom. Hands-on experience for the kids, where we'll send them culinary students to the National Food Show. We'll send our performing arts kids to the National Dance Conference, and so on. The kids get hands-on experience.
Now, you have several ways of earning funds to do this, but what we want to talk about today is Jazz at Bridgewater, which is a wonderful series that you run. So tell us about that.
Well, Jazz in Bridgewater was created about 4 years ago. We're now in our 5th season, actually, and it's an exciting professional jazz series. It's sponsored in cooperation with the New Jersey Jazz Society and funded in cooperation with the State Council on the Arts and the Verizon Foundation. It's a monthly concert program that brings people from the whole metropolitan area to New Jersey for this series. We have a 650-seat theater, and we do one monthly Saturday night concert during the year, so 12 concerts during the year.
Now, you don't have to buy tickets to the entire series. You can do it
Not at all.
per
Depends
show.
on what your taste of jazz is. We have from the classics to, we're bringing in some of the newer fusion jazz as well. We're getting a demand for that, but the classics are the favorites, the Benny Goodmans, the Satchmos, the Count Basie.
Right. Now, when does your new series start?
A new series will kick off on April 26th. We have the Tomcats Big Band coming in, Tom Arden's excellent big band. They come in from all over the country, these jazz artists. And then in May, we have the Kenny Davern Jazz Quartet. In June, we have Prime Reeds, which will feature two of the key notable jazz reed players, Joe Mediri of the Mediri Brothers, and Dan Levinson, who everyone knows. He is the next Benny Goodman, they call him.
Really?
So. And July 19th, we'll be bringing in hot piano. We're bringing in two pianists from San Antonio, Texas, and from San Francisco, Mike Lipskin and John Sheridan. Hot piano is one of our biggest draws. Jazz pianists come from all over to see these jazz artists. So, and then in August, we're bringing in from Paris, France, Hot Antics, who will do both a matinee and an evening. Some of the hottest jazz from Paris will be coming to New Jersey, and we get them via the Connecticut Jazz Festival and the New York Jazz Festival that they appear at, and this is their stopover. So we're very lucky. And then in September, we'll close with a quintet. Howard Alden and Dan Barrett will bring in all-star jazz artists for a closer.
Now, all these programs are all held at the Somerset County Votech School?
Right, we're in Bridgewater. Best way to tell where that is Bridgewater Commons Mall. We're located just adjacent to the mall, and very accessible from Route 22, 287, 78. Again, we draw from all over. We have about 200 subscribers. We draw in another 400. So we draw from anywhere from 400 to 600. But I would love to see the East Brunswick audience, because there's a big jazz contingency that comes out from East Brunswick.
Well, I've been at your shows, and they're really, truly spectacular, I think. How do people get tickets?
Tickets are available by phone. The station will be airing that number on the air, but you can call me directly at my home, 908-781-0470. I'm there. I take reservations all weekend long, and again, we'll give you any other additional information. We'll be glad to send out the brand new brochure that just came out. So if you'd like that, give us a call. We'll mail you out a brochure.
And is it also possible, if you decide to go at the last minute, to buy tickets at the door?
We do. Tickets are $15 in advance, $20 at the door, and that's just so we can, get people to really come out. Season tickets are also available. We have a 7-concert package for $75 and a 8-concert package for $85. So again, it's the best ticket in town. When you think about all the jazz that we have, a lot of people travel to New York for the jazz. We've got it right here in New Jersey. New Jersey Jazz Society has wonderful programs. We've got great clubs here in the Metuchen area with the Cornerstone, Shanghai Jazz in Madison. We have great jazz right here in New Jersey.
Now, you're looking forward to planning some special events?
We do. We have a wonderful program. Harry Connick Jr., that we're now moving from our theater. We're looking to do it at the Garden State Expo Center at the Doubletree Hotel in Somerset. That'll be a fall concert. We're finalizing the date now. We're looking at September 12th, but we're waiting to finalize the details. Calls are coming in by the hundreds weekly, for those tickets. He's a hot jazz ticket.
I would think so. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him there. And when we come to Bridgewater, we'll say hello to you too.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks for taking the trip to East Brunswick to talk to us about this.
Anytime.